So real quick, before we start, I want to address the loving bad thing because I know some of you came to this video just to comment down below. Please do the last episode of Loving Bad. Here's the thing. I want to do it. I've already recorded it actually, but as I said in my previous video, I am having technical difficulties with that video right now. Like my audio recorded, but the video part didn't record. So I'm trying to figure all that out. So please, I just wanted you to know it's coming. No need to throw a hissy. It's coming. I promise. I assure you. I've already recorded it. It was great. And I'm going to put it out as soon as I can. I just wanted that to be known before the comment spam begins. So I'm sorry, but hey, if you want to stick around and kind of see my old childhood home that was haunted, you know, I'll talk a little bit about it and kind of like, you'll get to see it and it'll be a good time. If you're into that kind of stuff, then I hope you stick around and watch this video anyway. So without further ado, let's just, you know, get into it. So what's up? Oh wow, that was probably the most creepiest introduction I have ever done. Hi, how are you? Welcome to my first speed build on my channel. Yay, this is actually weird. I'm gonna have to commentate for a good 16 minutes. And I don't know how I'm gonna do. I mean, I watch speed builds a lot, but I've never done one, so this is a first for me. Yay! So I decided to do my real life childhood first haunted house because, you know, I build a lot off camera for the Sims 4, but I've never recorded it. And I've never recorded it because it puts a lot of pressure on me to think of something amazing to build. So I had this idea in like June-ish to do this house because first of all, I think it'd be pretty cool. And I know this house by heart, so I wouldn't have to come up with anything. It just takes a load of pressure off to build something that already exists, you know? Not my creation, somebody else's, but I'm gonna build it and talk to you about it. So, I hate this house, can I just say? Had a lot of bad memories in this house. This was my house in Florida. When my family first moved to Florida, this was our temporary home. This was our temp home because my dad got this fancy job in Florida when we were living in Alabama. This was when I was like 14-ish, and him and my stepmom they traveled to find a house and then came back, and we ended up moving to this house a week later. So this was our temp home until we could find something bigger, something better, because you know my dad just got this fancy job. But yeah, that doesn't matter. What freaked me out about this house right off the bat is 2 weeks before we moved, I actually had a nightmare about this house. I know, it's creepy. How does that happen? Now, I've never seen this house before. This was before my dad and my stepmom even went down there to look at houses. I had a dream about the same house, and it was not a good one. It was a scary one. I don't remember much about the dream, but I just know it was a nightmare. I think like it was getting robbed or something. I don't know, but that's not the point. It's weird to dream about a house you've never seen and then 2 weeks later move into it, you know? So that kind of like freaks me out. And I remember like the first day that we moved into this house, cause see, my stepmom's mother actually lived with us too, so I'm gonna refer to her as Nana in this video. So it was kind of weird because the first day we moved into this house, like I pulled Nana to the side and I was like, I told her about the dream, and she was kind of like weirded out by it too. I think she was like, have you told your dad about it? Like, and I was like, no, because I didn't want him to think I was like being dramatic or, you know, anything like that. So I kept it to myself, and plus there was like these really, you know, attractive college boys next door, so it was easy to forget about the dream. You know, I was too busy Googling on, you know what, that doesn't matter, that's off topic. We're not here to talk about, you know, the cute college boys. We're here to talk about my haunted house experience here. So oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin. Like the first few months that we moved into this house, it was good. Not much happened actually. And I really didn't think it was haunted at all. It was just like a normal house to me, but it started slow. See, I had this room, and when I was like 14, I like to put posters all over my room, all over the walls, everywhere. Like, that was my, go-to decoration, was like posters from magazines and stuff, and I would always like tape them to my walls. Well, I did that in this house, and for some reason, I would tape them up, and every morning when I woke up, they were all on the floor. I never like understood why that happened, and I actually did make a video about this when I first started my channel called Draw My Paranormal Experience. It was super long ago, but yeah, I talked about this house. So in case, if you watch this video, this is kind of like a follow-up. I mean, this is like a more, I don't want to say more detailed story, but this is the house I was talking about in that video. Okay. So yeah, oh gosh, I remember I had so much trouble with this booth, because there was a booth in this house and I cannot figure out how to like convert that into the game. But I think I figured it out. This house, I don't know, I had trouble with it, but as I went on, I remembered more and more about it. So I think I did a perfect job. I mean, it looks exactly the same. But back to the poster story. So after the first few times of waking up with my posters, on the floor, at first I thought it was a coincidence that maybe I didn't tape it up good enough, but let me tell you, I taped these posters good, okay? And they'd always end up on the floor. Well, one night I got woke up by one of my posters, I guess, making noise, like falling. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it was like one of the posters had fallen and it woke me up. And about that time, another poster, like the top left corner, it flopped over, like once I was awake and I opened my eyes, and I thought it was weird, and all of a sudden the top right corner started peeling off. Oh, it gives me the creeps to even like talk about it. Still to this day, this happened so long ago and it still freaks me out. Okay. Oh, and it probably doesn't make it easier that I'm sitting here recording this voiceover at like 2 in the morning, so by myself. So anyways, you know what? We're just gonna keep on going. So the right corner, top corner of this poster started like falling too, and then all of a sudden, like in one swift half a second, the whole poster just, it was almost like, it looked like it got like just ripped off the wall. Like it was just ripped from the wall and it fell on the floor. And oh, like I was terrified. Oh god. I still remember that night. I remember that feeling. I think that was like the first time that I kind of had a feeling that the house is haunted, because that's just like not normal. That oh my god, that was just really creepy. So, and by the way, everything I'm telling you is 100% true. Like, this house was probably the first time that I've ever experienced something paranormal that I can honestly 100% say I did not dream it, I did not make it up. All this stuff happened, and I even have my dad, my stepmom, anyone that lived in this house with us can vouch that everything that I say, everything happened exactly the way I'm telling you. So this is all true stuff. So if you don't believe in the paranormal, I don't know what to tell you, but this really happened to me, and I honestly 100% can tell you that I'm not crazy. It was really my life for like a good 6 months. Like, I lived this horror story, and it was horrible. It was hard. But after like the poster thing started to happen, I think it all started with the posters. And then after that, it would be like in the middle of the night, I would hear like footsteps like down the hallway. Like, if you could say, like, you see the floor plan in this video, like the little room in the middle, that was my room. And you see that long hallway? I heard footsteps up and down that hallway constantly all night. And when I get up to like go to the bathroom or check it out, everybody would be asleep. Nobody would be awake. Like, so who was walking? I don't know. I had no clue. But I know I heard those footsteps and I knew people was up. And after a while of that, okay, I had like a vivid nightmare twice in this house of a man, and it was like, he looked like he was from like the 70s. Like, it literally looked, he had like the 70s style clothes, and he was in this house, and he actually hung himself in the bathroom that was connected to my dad and my stepmom's room. So you'll see that also in the build, right by the closet, like that one right there. It's like empty right now, but that room right there that I'm making, that was the bathroom that I had in my dream of this guy hanging himself in that bathroom. I know, terrifying. And like, I'd never seen the guy before. It was just a really weird dream. I remember the first time I had it, I woke up in a panic and actually cried. Like, it was horrible. Like, I had just like a rush of, I don't know how to explain it. It was like terrible time. So that's just a little weird that I had that dream like out of nowhere. But after that, things started happening and I would get in trouble for them, things that I didn't do, but nobody believed that I didn't do it. Like, for instance, my stepmom always had a rule. When you go to bed, you turn all the lights off. The TV, the lights, everything. It's always just been a rule for them. Like, they got this weird thing, like, all the lights have to be off. And I always did it. I never forgot. Well, one morning I got up and she was kind of mad at me because she said that, like, she woke up and like the hall light was on. Funny thing, because I didn't turn that hall light on, but they didn't turn the hall light on either. And of course they're gonna blame me because I'm like the kid in the house, and they're gonna think I'm lying to protect myself, to keep myself from getting in trouble, because why would they lie about that, you know? They have nothing to lose. So they didn't believe me, even though I know for a fact I didn't turn that light on. They blamed me for it. And what's funny is the night before I got in trouble for that, I heard footsteps down the hall. So there's always that. That's not the only time either that I would literally get in trouble for stuff I didn't do. Like, there was this one time, like, my dad would come home from work and he'd like to take like a shot of like Jack Daniels, if you know what that is. It's like a liquor, and he had like a bottle in the refrigerator. Well, one morning when I got up for school, I went and I opened the refrigerator and the bottle literally shot out at my feet. Like, yeah, it was terrifying, and it buzzed all over the floor. And the thing is, I got in so much trouble for that because there was no way. That bottle was like tucked deep inside that refrigerator, like on its side, on the bottom like shelf. There was no way it would have fallen unless I would have picked it up and, you know, picked it up that way, but I didn't. It shot out at me, but my dad didn't believe it. Of course, he thinks that I was like trying to sneak a drink or something before school. I don't know. I got in so much trouble. And how do you explain to your family that a ghost is trying to get you in trouble? That a ghost is like black or sabotaging you, and like, you know, like you can't tell your family that because you will sound crazy. So all this time, like, this would happen regularly. I would get in trouble for stuff I didn't do all the time. Like in the bathroom, the towel rack got ripped off the wall one night, and but it was laid nicely in a basket where I kept my things in that bathroom. So when my stepmom got up the next day, how do you explain that? If the thing had just fallen off the wall, it would have been on the floor. It wouldn't have been placed neatly on my basket out of all baskets. It was just, it was a horrible time. Like, I felt like I got targeted and I was tormented by this spirit, this ghost, whatever it may be. And it really, I got like super obsessed with death for a while, and it was really depressing. My whole mood just changed in this house. Like, it was such a horrible place to be. And I remember, like, okay, so my cousins were going to end up in foster care at one point because their parents couldn't take care of them. So my dad and my stepmom went and got them, and they were going to live with us to keep them from going into the system, you know, keep them in the family around people that they knew. So they came to live with us, and until we moved into a bigger house, I gave up my bed for them. Like, so they slept on my bed in my bedroom, and I slept on the couch to make room for everybody. And I was totally fine with that, but I started noticing I heard stuff in the kitchen all the time. And if you see the layout where the couch is, like, there's like a half wall behind it. So I would peek over that half wall and nothing would be there, but I swear I'd hear like cabinets. I remember a Pop-Tart wrapper being on like the counter once, and I heard it like open. Oh, it's like so bad. It gives me chills. I can't even. Like, you guys don't even know how terrifying this house was for me, but the most terrifying thing happened to me while I was asleep on that couch. And you see that computer back there? Well, I woke up one night, and I don't know why, but I just woke up cold and scared, and something told me to look behind me, and I looked over, and in that computer chair sat like a shadow of a human. Like, I can't explain it. And the neck was really long, but I could definitely make out the head, the shoulders, the chest, the arms, the legs. I could make this dark figure out. Like, it was dark in the house, but this was like much darker than dark. And his neck was like really long, and I wasn't like dreaming, and I wasn't half asleep. Like, I sat there and stared at it. Like, my eyes went across the outline of it to make sure I wasn't seeing things, and no, I wasn't. It was really there, and it just sat there in that chair. And oh my god, and what's crazy, I had the nightmare about the guy that hung himself, and then I see a shadow, human, ghost, whatever, with this like weird, oddly disoriented neck. Like, maybe it was like that because that was like how he died, like with his neck. I don't know. I'm not an expert on ghosts. I'm not a paranormal expert. I'm just telling you the facts and what I saw. And all I know is the very last day we were there, before we moved out, I had a ceiling fan in my room, but they don't have ceiling fans in The Sims 4, so I couldn't really put it in there. There was a ceiling fan right above my bed, and I had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and as soon as I walked in the bathroom, I heard a crash. Come back in my room, and the ceiling fan that was on my ceiling had fallen right where I was just sitting. So if I would have sat there like 2 minutes longer, there's no telling. Like, I would have had a ceiling fan like crash on top of me. And that's just like really like almost too coincidental that right when I get up, you know, the ceiling fan falls. I don't know, but I'm just telling you guys what I experienced. This house was a trip, and I hated it. I've always hated it. You couldn't pay me to go back, honestly. Like, this house for me personally was a nightmare, and I'm glad I never have to go back to it ever again. And as soon as I moved out of this house, like, all the stuff stopped. You know, I got instantly happier. I stopped obsessing over stupid stuff like death, and I never had any more experiences. It was just this house. Like, 100% I think this house was haunted, and 100% I think the ghost tormented me for the 6 months that we stayed here. But yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of my experience at this creepy house. Hope you liked this video. It was all for fun. So there you go. If you liked it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye.